lot of fans, it seems like today. Good to hear. Always good to hear. Alright guys, the map, it's going to be Akilon Wastes, spawning in the bottom right-hand position as the Blue Zerg from CJ Entis and it's Hydra. Sorry? You're going to forget about the name, man.
Well, this guy's name is Parting, the nickname Rascal Toss, spawning as the orange Protoss in the left top position.
That nickname fits him so good. He really is a rascal, man.
Oh yeah.
If I had to pick one person from StarCraft to be a rascal, like I bet like Parting actually, he was probably in the movie Little Rascals and he didn't realize it.
I mean, I liked Parting since the auction OSO days. I mean, he qualified and I didn't interview him, and he seemed like a really nice person, but also showing a lot of personality on the streams, on the interviews, and even during the group selections.
I love when the players do that, man. Showing off that confidence, even a little bit of cockiness.
It's like watching The Rock back from Brood War.
Oh, you just reminded me of the best GIF like ever in StarCraft, man. One of the best. There's actually been a lot of really entertaining GIFs. I do have to say the Keen one though, where he's like, ah, and then just starts clapping in his booth. That's probably actually the best one.
That's one of the better ones out there. I still have to say The Rock is the best one because he did it against Jadong in the qualifier, in the dual tournaments.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, just try the find Rock versus Jadong GIF, and he does a cute little like maneuver. It's kind of hard to explain, but very clear once you see the actual GIF. So
it's like saying Fire Red Hero does amazing ceremonies, but you can't explain it. You need to see the GIF for the Fire Red Hero ceremony.
Yeah. You need to see him, you know, just dancing around and running into the ocean in the summer, man.
Yeah. Of course, the ceremonies have been toned down in Pro League because of you know, I'm pretty sure Kes put a new rule where you can't overly do a huge ceremony after you win, so that's why some of these players, they want to go for the huge ceremony, but they really can't do so because if it offends the opponent, they get a warning.
Well, I would take a warning to offend the opponent. Well, it was a really good ceremony, but the pro team like that, I guess so. Alright, well, looking at the game here, nothing to really look at so far. Sorry, guys. Just everything very solid and standard. Maybe this rascal doing over here? He's hiding a probe. Maybe he'll use that later on to do some scouting. We did see some hidden probes a little bit earlier on in the first set. It was a different matchup, but still Protoss, so maybe we'll see that once again. I don't think we'll see any proxy tech, but you never know with Party.
Yeah, if it isn't proxy tech, then he's gonna go for some kind of early pressure. And since he's not, okay, so Cyberman's core just goes up, and no, still no pylon at the left bottom. Instead, he pulled the probe out just to scout.
Yeah.
So we are expecting too much out of this rascal today.
I guess we are. Alright, third base is scouted by Parting, so he'll be happy to know that that's going up there. And Hydra playing completely standard here, hasn't taken his gas or, you know, made any moves to be aggressive at all. So Parting he can play very safe right now. He can just be, you know, be calm, ease at mind.
Goodbye, Pro.
There it goes. See you later, man.
Yeah, you can't run away against two Zerglings. Instead, you can run away from one Zergling, you're going to get enough shield to regen, and you can run away from the single Zergling without speed. But against two Zerglings, you can't run away. In fact, you can go home right away. If not, it's going to get taken out easily. Behind us, Parting is getting a Stargate.
Hi, man. I don't think I could have guessed that one.
Well, it's Parting. Parting loves to do something called the Soul Train, so
you know
he
what,
might have gone for it, but
he hasn't really gone for that Heart of the Storm. I haven't really seen that play from him recently.
It's interesting because Parting was talking about how great the build is, especially with the Mothership Core buffing against the Grand Army. So he was saying the Immortal Century Army push is much stronger in the Heart of the Swarm, but it seems like he hasn't gone too much for it. Now, he is opening up Stargate, but that doesn't mean that he is not going to go for the Immortals. You just have to wait and see what he goes for.
Yeah, we've actually seen some builds towards the later end of Wings of Liberty where players, they would open up Phoenix and then they would go into that Immortal tech, and because the Zerg players saw the Phoenix, they wouldn't expect the Immortal follow-up, and they would make a lot of spores and really just overcommit to the defense.
Yeah, but they also figure out that the Protoss players were doing it, so they have adapted, and they pretty much made sure that they don't overcommit to the air defense.
The first Phoenix is revealed here. Going to go ahead and snipe that Overlord. We also have the Sentry tickling the Rocks over by the third base. Eventually Rocks will die if you tickle them for about 5 minutes by a Sentry.
And by 5 minutes, particularly for a Protoss player who wants to take an early third on Akilon.
Robo on the way, following up here, so everything looking pretty standard here. Yeah, nothing really out of the ordinary or interesting, I guess you could say.
Also, no upgrades on the ground just yet.
And, wow, 6 Spore Crawlers from Hydra here. He wants to be really prepared against this aggression from Harding.
Yeah, this was a little part of the overcommitment that we were speaking about at the end of Wings of Liberty. He really wants to make sure those Phoenixes don't even get a single drone.
Now, I want to see if Harding will cancel this Phoenix. Nope. He's going to let it get built here, so he'll have 4, but will he go for the 5th one? He's already forced a lot of spores here, which is actually really nice from him. That's 6 drones that could be mining that are now...
Those 2 Overlords are out of position.
Uh-oh. Overlords may be able to get sniped here, and it looks like, yes, 1 will end up going down here. The Hydra Den also spotted, so Harding pretty safe overall, I guess you should say here. And nice sniping his 2nd Overlord as well, but not getting any drones because the Spore Crawler coverage is just too good.
Still doing a nice job with the Phoenixes that he has, and the most that he could do at the moment. Now with the Rocks getting taken down, Harding is moving forward, taking a 3rd expansion, and just dragging into the late game while going for the Twilight Council and the Robo Bay. His opponent Hydra scouts it, but hey, at this point it's either a Cheese or Colossus.
That's, yeah, pretty much. I mean, not much else to say beyond that. We do have the Spire follow-up here from Hydra, though, so... And getting an Infestation Pit, man. His tech is all over the place.
Seems he saw that his opponent is not adding the game weight. He saw that his opponent was taking down the rock. So this means that
nice force field, sniping off a few of those drones there.
But going back to my train of thought, this means that Harding is not going to push out any time soon. That allows Hydra to tech up heavily, take a 4th base, and it doesn't really matter at this point because Harding is not going to push out. Maybe he'll do some harassments here and there, maybe with the War Prison, but other than that, there's not going to be any major push from Harding.
Very true here, but hold on a second. We got Charge on the way here.
We got Charge on the way, but we have Swarmos from Hydra.
So not using, well, maybe he'll get some, I think he'll get Corruptors out here. We may see a Hydra Corruptor Swarmos army composition actually with Hydra here.
With the Overseer.
With the Overseer. This could be really cool from Hydra. I'm actually curious to see how well Harding will be able to deal with this composition because I don't think he's really spotted everything quite yet here.
Now, his opponent is going for the Colossus, and he's going to stack 1 by 1, which is not a great news for Hydra, because to deal with the Swarmos, you need a
nice sniping off 2 of those Phoenix.
So going for the Swarmos is not a bad decision in PvC, but the problem is those Colossus take out the weapons so easily that you need a mass amount of them, or you just need to commit, a few here and there for defense. And let's see how many Swarmos Hydra actually decides to make.
On the flip side, you do need a solid amount of Colossi to deal with those Swarmos.
That is quite true.
Generally, if you get 4, you're okay, and I think the charge may have actually been canceled here, and we saw a blink.
Yeah. I think that's actually a perfect decision for him because he's always just known to Locust, and it's better for the Blink Stalkers to target fire on the Swarmos 1 by 1. Now, Harding also needs to be careful. He actually needs an Observer on a separate hotkey. If Hydra starts making some Overseers and making some Corruptors, because now it's more like the Brood War style, the Lurker contain where the Scourge is trying to get the Observer, but the Corruptors take out the Observer so much easier than Brood War.
Very true. And it looks like Hydra trying to get some more map presence here, really spreading his creep quite fast across the map. Double Robo all the way, guys.
Nice play.
Double Robo's coming from the Protoss player. Harding with a pretty solid army size right now, actually. Up to 140 supply. Only 20 behind the Protoss player. And Hydra, actually, there we go. I was about to say, hey man, he was floating a lot of resources, and then just as I say that, 10 Corruptors in the production tab here, so he should be able to deal with this attack quite nicely. And I'm starting to wonder, man, maybe we need to see some type of variance from Parting. Maybe some Tempest, maybe some Void Race.
Not just yet, however, because he needs to spend so much gas into that, and he doesn't have the gas right now. In fact, he's just squeezing out a few units here and there, but he can't switch right now. That's going to be a huge commitment from Parting. And since he's going for Stalker-based army instead of a Zealot-based army, he just can't do it unless he takes the 4th base.
So very true here. Parting, though, dealing with this almost quite easily right now, or at least the Locust, and he's starting to clear out a little bit of creep here, reinforcing with a lot more Stalkers. And, uh-oh, that's a lot of Corruptors, though. And nice. He's got a few snipes going off a few of those Corruptors, but at the same time, Mothership Core taken out as well. 4th base on the way for Parting, and 2 War Prisms with War Prism speed just completing here. This is going to be really exciting. I can't wait to see how Parting plans on dealing with this aggression here, but it looks like he wants to force the Zerg player out of position and not able to fully utilize these attacks, but hold that thought. Looks like we have some good force fields here. And the Swarm Hosts, they
out of position.
Out of position and bare, but the Corruptors, they're going to be able to chase a lot of this army away. More solid force fields going down, but the Colossi, they will eventually fall here. There's 2 left. They are cutting these Corruptors back. The Corruptor count is starting to get very low right now, and pretty much the Corruptors have traded decently with the Colossi, but Parting overall, I feel like he's getting a little bit better of a trade here.
Yeah, but look at this. Parting now cannot engage into this army because I don't see any observers out for him. Hydra, he was trying to target fire the Colossus, but did take the observer at the last second. But let's see how much damage this War Prism can do.
That's going to be the real key here. Parting has the micro on 2 fronts here. He needs to use that War Prism quite effectively. And he also has to deal with this attack on his natural, but look at this. This is a very large group of charge lots, well, almost charge lots. They're going to head into the main base, and Hydra, he's got absolutely no defense at home, and he's not even responding to this threat, only now just realizing, holy crap, there's Zealots in my base. At the same time, though, Hydra using Hydras to take out that Nexus as well at the 4th base, putting Parting back on 3 bases, but at the same time...
What are you doing, Hydra? Why are you attacking your own hive? This is not the answer. What are you doing?
No!
Okay, barely at the last second.
Oh, that could have been very bad.
That could have been MMA moment over there.
At the same time, though, we have Hydra attacking at multiple angles. These Blink Stalkers, though, they're completely out of position here. Parting, though, getting the supply count really close here. Where is the Observer? If Parting can snipe off all of these Swarm Hosts here, then that could be a very, very humongous change in the game. And now, look at this. These Swarm Hosts, they're completely surrounded. There's nothing that Hydra can do to save them. And now all he has to do is pull back, save that 3rd base. And it looks like Parting has been able to actually turn this game around and take the lead out of a potentially bad situation.
Yeah, though going around with the Stalkers was a perfect decision because now the Colossus deal with the Locusts at the front and the Stalkers take out Swarmers from the back. So it was a perfect positioning for Parting to be in. The Zealot also did a lot of damage, and the Hydra not cleaning up easily did not help either.
That's true. Parting actually ahead in the blink count here, and more forward blinks from Parting here. Now the Stalkers, they're not bad against the Hydras, so...
They're +3.
Yeah, and you have the +3, you have the blink. They can actually trade pretty good against the Hydras here, getting a little bit over zealous here, but the problem for the Hydra is that there's more charge lots moving in. The Colossus, there's no Corruptors to take them out, but holy crap!
What the?
There are a crap ton of Zerglings going into all the bases here. Parting, he has to get the Zealots to defend as fast as possible. We may have a potential base race scenario here going on with the Zealots. They will be able to clean things up eventually. Blink Stalkers moving back, and Hydra really has just bought a lot of time with the Zerglings.
In fact, the supply actually flipped to Hydra's favor for this point in the game. Once the Zerglings get taken down, yes, Parting's going to have to leave once again, but that's a lot of time wasted for Parting going back into the main base to defend against this. I feel like Parting actually needs to commit to an attack right now because Hydra bought so much time with those Zerglings.
Not only did he buy so much time, he killed so many workers.
That is quite true.
Parting down to 36 workers, and he was at 70.
Yeah, and now he's trying to get that Temporal Archive up. He's trying to get the Archons up and the Storms up against the counter Zerglings, but his opponent making a lot of Hydras at the same time. +3 on the way, and the Corruptors are being made once again for our Zerg players.
And we also have another Zergling run by happening once again into the natural. Party, he does have a few cannons here that will defend against the Zerglings in the natural, but I think there are some going for that third base as well. It looks like Parting will be able to defend against that as well. And will we see an attack from Parting here? I think he really needs to make something happen now, because his economy right now, not in the best place. And if he lets Hydra buy any more time here, then that superior economy will kick in, and Hydra will have a very strong army composition and supply of speed.
Now, this is really hard to pull as a Zerg player. He does have the Corruptors, but he doesn't have that much ground army.
All right, it looks like Parting, it's going to come down the micro here. Not losing any Colossi yet. Sniping, I think, a few units in there, but right now, this is just a very, very tense moment for our Zerg player. And the Hydras, holy crap, where did they come from?
Like I said, he bought enough time. He was sitting on 1k minerals and 1k gas. Once the Zerglings got inside the main base, once again, the microphone sponge gets stuck in my neck as the battle happens.
All right, well, we got the Hydras microing, or sorry, the Blinkstalkers microing here. Hydra looking very solid right now. His army is falling, but Parting reinforcing with more Stalkers, using the Blinkstalkers, using that micro to secure an advantage over his opponent. Hydras head on against Blinkstalkers will end up losing if you have the critical amount of Blinkstalkers, and it looks like Parting does win this engagement, but he does lose all of his high-tech units. The only thing he can do right now is essentially reinforce with more Stalkers. Parting absolutely needs to do economic damage, or he will eventually lose this game.
Yeah, since he doesn't have the velocity, he needs to go and wipe out a hatchery or two, but he can't do it because the roaches are now here. Look at the production tab. Parting is not making anything. He could make a maximum of 5 Stalkers right now. His opponent getting 5 Hydras, 10 Zerglings. That's going to help a lot against the Blinkstalker-based army of Parting.
And Parting essentially down now 60 supply over his opponent here. Hydra is in a very solid position, I have to say now. He was able to defend against these Blinkstalkers. Now, he will lose this base, but at the same time, he may be able to deny the base of Parting as well, and at the same time, sniping off a few of these Stalkers here and saving that base. Things are looking worse and worse for our Vaster Toss here.
He is getting the double Colossus, but his opponent pretty much remade the drones, and look at the supply difference, 181 to 111, and the biggest problem for Parting is he cannot secure another base.
Problem here, without that 4th base, Parting will eventually run dry on the resource tab. He is essentially, backed up against a wall here. I feel like Parting, there were some windows where he could have done enough damage to, essentially cripple Hydra's economy, but we didn't see that, and now the Colossus is out. But the problem is the Corruptors, man, they are going to be able to deal with these Colossi quite easily, but now only a few left. Hydra moving in here, going to take out the Robo quite easily. Time Warp going down, not hitting the best position for Blink from our Protoss player, going down right now, and this is still a very tense situation between both players. Parting, if he micros his army perfectly, he may be able to make a miracle happen here, but it's going to be so hard due to the superior economy of our Zerg player. But the Corruptors are all taken down.
Hydra also needs to make sure he doesn't extend because he didn't have that many Corruptors inside the main army. In fact, when he tried to go for the Colossus, it was a free shot on the Colossus by Parting. So now he just needs to wait for the reinforcement and go for the attack once again. That's only 2 Colossus, so it's going to get taken out easily by 5 Corruptors, especially with one of them being only half on health.
Yeah, so Parting, he's trying to be aggressive here, realizing maybe that's not the best idea. He does not want to attack into this. That would be game-ending. I think he realized that. Starting to back out, but now Parting on full retreat here, trying to do a little bit of micro-dancing where he can, trying to snipe a few of those rushes down, but 1 Colossus goes down. The second one may go down as well. Parting doing a good job microing against these Corruptors, but the problem is the main army of Hydra. It's just definitely too large for this Protoss player, and Parting, it looks like he may suffer a loss in Pro League here. Definitely not happy about that. GG! Parting loses as Hydra secures a victory And now the score tied up 2-2.
You know, I have to say, I see a different player when I see Hydra play ZVP and ZVT.
Yeah, he definitely fumbles around when it comes to ZVT, but his Zerg versus Protoss, I feel like he just knows what to do, man. He's got a great understanding, and Boxer doesn't look like he's too happy about that loss there, and Parting definitely feels a little bit of shame there, probably. He probably is in the mindset that he's the favorite. He should be winning here, but he's dropping games, man.
Yeah.